The topic of this video is gathering student preferences in Exxat Prism. Before placing students at locations for their experiential work, you may want to gather their preferences for the available locations. You can collect these preferences in Exxat Prism through wishlists. In this video, you will learn how to set up new wishlists, manage submitted wishlists, process requests, and notify locations of student interests. This video comprises of 21 chapters. To activate wishlists, click on the Placements section. You can also select the Placements option from the upper left-hand hamburger menu. Then, select a course name and click on the Wishlist tab. Please note that to activate wishlists, you need to have added students to the course and set up rotations for the course. You can then click on the Create Wishlist button. You will be taken to a page to configure the wishlist. First, provide the wishlist with a name, then provide the wishlist with a view date. This is the date that students will be able to start viewing the wishlist. Click on the calendar icon, then select the date and time you would like this wishlist to appear to students. You will then provide an open date and a close date for this wishlist. The open date is the date when the wishlist will open for students to complete. The close date is when the wishlist will close and no longer allow for student submissions. You will then indicate the type of wishlist you would like to activate for students. You could choose a slot-based, location-based, slot and location-based, my request, setting-based, location area, questionnaire, address preference, or rotation preference wishlist. After you have made your selection, click Next. We will first demonstrate how to set up a slot-based wishlist. Slot-based wishlists allow for students to rank their preference for available slots. First, you will select the types of slots you would like to include in the wishlist. Please note that all slots available will be included by default. You will then indicate which types of slots you would like to include. To include slots of specific settings, states, location tags, location areas or location categories, click on the pencil icon in the respective section and uncheck the boxes for the type of slots you would like to exclude. You can then set up some additional options in the Additional Information section. If you would like to show the number of available slots to students on this wishlist, activate the corresponding bit. You can also indicate if you would like to show the status of the available slots, the name of the rotations of available slots, or preceptor details of available slots. Lastly, if you would like your student to upload an individual resume to each of their ranked preferences, indicate the corresponding bit. Students will always be able to upload their resume to the wishlist, but enabling the individual resume upload option allows students to upload resumes customized to the specific location. Check the confirmed or tentative boxes to include confirmed or tentative slots. In the minimum required section, enter a number for the minimum number of slots you would like students to indicate their preferences for. You can then indicate the maximum number of slots in the maximum allowed section. In the text area below, provide instructions for the student to complete the wishlist. Location-based wishlists allow for students to rank their preference for individual locations. For location-based wishlists, you will first indicate the locations you would like to include in the wishlist. You can choose to include all locations, only locations which have not offered slots, or only locations which have offered slots. Then click on the pencil icon in the Settings to Include section to indicate locations of specific settings to include on the wishlist. You can then deselect settings to exclude them from the wishlist. To include locations of specific states, location tags, location areas or location categories, click on the pencil icon in the respective section and uncheck the boxes for the type of locations you would like to exclude. In the minimum required section, enter the minimum number of locations you would like students to indicate their preferences for. You can then indicate the maximum number of locations in the maximum allowed section. In the text area below, provide instructions for the student to complete the wishlist. Slot and location wishlists allow students to select specific slots and locations and rank their preference together. To configure a slot and location wishlist, you will first configure the slot wishlist options. When you are done, click on the Location Wishlist tab to complete the location wishlist options. These tabs are exactly the same as the individual slot and location wishlist setup options. Setting-based wishlists allow students to rank their preference for available settings. To set up a setting-based wishlist, you will first select the settings which you would like to include. Click on the pencil icon in the Settings section and then deselect any settings you would like to exclude from the wishlist. In the Minimum Required section, enter the minimum number of settings you would like students to indicate their preferences for. You can then indicate the maximum number of settings in the Maximum Allowed section. In the text area below, provide instructions for the student to complete the wishlist. Location Area Wishlists allow students to rank their preference for available location areas. To set up a location area wishlist, you will first select the location areas which you would like to include. Click on the pencil icon in the Location Areas section and then deselect any location areas you would like to exclude from the wishlist. In the Minimum Required section, enter the minimum number of location areas you would like students to indicate their preferences for. You can then indicate the maximum number of location areas in the Maximum Allowed section. In the text area below, provide instructions for the student to complete the wishlist. In the Address Preference Wishlist, students will provide the address of their residence during the selected rotations. In the Rotation section, click on the drop-down and select the rotations you would like to include in this wishlist. You can also ignore the Rotation section if you would like to gather additional addresses without tagging them to any rotation. In the text area below, provide instructions for the student to complete the wishlist. In the Rotation Preference Wishlist, students indicated their preference for available placement rotations. First click on the Select Rotations drop-down, then select the rotations you would like to include in the wishlist. In the Minimum Required section, enter the minimum number of rotations you would like students to indicate their preference for. You can then indicate the maximum number of rotations in the Maximum Allowed section. In the text area below, provide instructions for the student to complete the wishlist. My requests allow for students to indicate their preference for a new placement location, even if this placement location is not currently associated with your program. In a My Request, students fill information about this location and submit it to you to review. First click on the Select Form drop-down to select a template for your My Request. We also offer the option to involve experiential supervisors in the My Request workflow. Submitted requests can be sent to the experiential supervisors for review and sign-off. The forms sent for review can be completely customized and may contain sections of the student's submitted requests and additional sections for the experiential supervisor to fill and sign off. If you would like to set up My Request workflow to include the experiential supervisors, please reach out to our support team at prism-support@exxat.com. We will provide you with an Exxat My Request standard form, which is our standard use My Request form. If you would like to customize the My Request form to meet your program's needs, please reach out to our support team at prism-support@exxat.com. They will help you configure and add new templates to be selected here. Once you have selected your template, select the rotation relevant to this request. You will then enter the minimum and maximum number of requests you would like students to submit. In the text area below, provide instructions for the student to submit their My Request. The Questionnaire Wishlist has students indicate their preferences using a set of questions you provide to them. If you are setting up a questionnaire wishlist, you will be prompted to provide instructions for the students in the text area above. You will then enter the question for your students to answer in the question box. To add a new question, click on the Add Question button and enter your question in the new question box. If you would like to reorder your questions, you can drag and drop your questions in the desired order using the double ellipses on the left-hand side of the question box. You can also use the arrows on the right-hand side of the question box to reorder questions. For all other wishlists, except My Requests, you will also be able to add a questionnaire after you have configured the wishlist type section. The questionnaire section of every other wishlist functions the same as the questionnaire wishlist. Students will be presented with this questionnaire after they have indicated their preferences. If you would like to set up questions for your students, indicate yes. You will then provide your questions for students to answer. Once you are done, click the Next button. If you would like newly registered students to be assigned this wishlist, check the box titled Automatically Update Student Selection when course registration is updated. You will then select the students enrolled in this course, who you would like to assign to this wishlist. You can search for students using the search box or filter the list of students. Click on the filter icon to filter students by their status. You can also click on a student's name to visit their profile page. Select all of the students you would like to assign to the wishlist, then click the Next button. You will then choose if you would like students to automatically be notified when the wishlist opens, 24 hours before it closes, and when it closes. If you would like students to be notified at any of these times, check the corresponding box, then click Next. In the Summary section, you can view everything you set up for this wishlist. If you would like to make any changes, click on the previous sections to go back and make those changes. Once you are ready to save the wishlist, click on the Save button. You will still be able to make changes to the wishlist once it has been saved, however you will not be able to change the wishlist type. In the Wishlist tab, you will now see your added wishlist. Each wishlist will display the wishlist type, the number of students who have submitted it, the number of students who have yet to submit the wishlist, the view date, open date, and close date. Using the status box, you can easily identify open wishlists. If you would like to preview the wishlist from a student viewpoint, click on the Preview hyperlink. If you would like to delete a previously added wishlist, click on the Delete hyperlink. If you have a long list of previously added wishlists, you can easily search through them using the search box. To make changes to a previously added wishlist, click on the wishlist name, then click on the Setup tab. You can then make changes here. Another way of collecting student preferences is through publishing slots to students. When you publish available slots to students, they can then indicate their interest in these slots. Click on the Slots tab. Using the slot list, you can view all the slots added to this course. For each entry, you can click on a location name to enter the location page. You can also click on a site name to enter the site page. You can also view additional information on the table related to each slot, such as the slot dates, the slot setting, the number of students placed, and more. You can use the search box to search for a specific slot. You can also use the filter icon to filter out slots by various slot-related criteria. To edit the columns of a slot, click on the wrench icon. You can then drag and drop the columns using the double ellipses, or delete columns by clicking on the trash bin icon. If you would like to re-add a deleted column, click the Add a Column button, then select the column you would like to re-add. Be sure to save once you are finished. To export the list of slots in the Excel format, click on the Export icon. You can then select the slots you would like to publish from the list of added slots. After you have made your selection, click on the Notify Student button. You will be taken to a page listing all the students enrolled in the course. Select the students you would like to publish the slots to. Then click on the Publish Slots button. The system will then confirm you would like to publish the slots to the selected students. After this, it will ask if you want to notify the students of these published slots. To send an email to these students, click on the Email button. A window will open for you to configure this notification. Go ahead and click Next. You will then select the template for the email you would like to send. You can select our pre-made standard template, or any other template you have created. Click Add a Template to add a new template. You can then provide a template name, subject name, and header and footer layout for the email template. You will then provide a body for the email template. Be sure to use the merge fields displayed in the upper right-hand corner of the page. These merge fields will be replaced with the information relevant to this specific email correspondence. When you are done, you can click Save. If you would like to delete a previous template, click on the template list, then click on the trash bin icon to the right of the template name. To edit a previously added template, click the template, then click the Edit button. You can then make changes to this template. Once you are done, select a template and click Preview. On the left-hand side of this window, you will see a preview of the notification. Once you are ready to send the email, click Send. You can also notify students of published slots by navigating back to the slot list, selecting the slots you would like to send, then clicking on the Notify Student button. You can then select the students enrolled in the course you want to notify. Once you have made your selections, click on the Compose Email button. You will then compose and send the email in the same way as before. Back on the slot list page, you can view the instances of previous email notifications by clicking on the vertical ellipses, then selecting the Email History button. You can view emails sent between specific dates by selecting a start date and then selecting an end date. Click the Reset Dates hyperlink to view all email instances. You can select specific rotations by clicking the rotation dropdown and selecting specific rotations. Click on the Site or Student tabs to view emails sent to the site or student. The table displays each email instance including the recipient's name, email address, subject, status, sender's email address, and the date and time the email was sent. Click on the subject to view the email instance. You should regularly check the status column to ensure your email notifications are being sent successfully. The delivered status indicates the email was delivered but not opened. The opened status indicates the email has been opened by the recipient. The drop status indicates that the email was not successfully sent. If you are having an issue with your email notifications being dropped, please contact our support team at prism-support@exxat.com. You can search for specific email notification instances using the search box. To unpublish slots to students, navigate back to the slot list and select the slots you would like to unpublish. You may want to filter the list to only display published slots. To do this, click on the filter icon, then select the published filter option. After you have made your selections, then select the unpublished slots option. The system will confirm you would like to unpublish these slots. If you are sure, click on the Confirm button. In the Wishlist Management tab of a wishlist page, you can view all the student submissions of this wishlist. At the top of the page, you will see counts for the number of students who have not yet started the wishlist, those who have started but not submitted the wishlist, those who have submitted the wishlist, those whose wishlist entries were approved, and those whose entries are no longer applicable. The table will display all the students who this wishlist is applicable to, the student's email, the status of their wishlist submissions, the submission date of their wishlist, and the number of preferences they indicated. You can search for specific students using the search box in the upper left-hand corner of the table. Using the filter icon, you can also filter this table by status of submission. To view a student's wishlist submission, click on the respective status. A window will open displaying their preferences, the reasoning for their ranking, and answers to the questionnaire. To view any documents uploaded by the student, click on the View Documents hyperlink. You can also see the view, open and close dates for the wishlist and can change the dates for this specific submission. If you would like to provide notes for internal use, you can enter these notes in the Notes, Internal Use Only text area. If you would like to provide notes for the student to view, you can do so in the Notes, Shared with Students text area. You can then update the status of the submission. If you have reviewed the student's submission, click on the Status dropdown and select the Reviewed option. If you would like the student to make changes to the wishlist and resubmit it, select the In Progress option. Once you are done, click on the Update button and the wishlist will be updated. When you review a slot-based wishlist, you will have the option to place the student in the slots they indicated preference for. For more information on how to place a student in a slot-based wishlist, please watch our Managing Placements in Exxat Prism tutorial. To download an Excel file containing all of your students' submitted preferences, click on the Download Preferences button in the top right-hand side of the page. Wishlist management functions similarly for all wishlists except My Requests. To process My Requests, click on the hamburger icon and navigate to the Process My Requests section. You will be taken to the Process My Requests dashboard for upcoming rotations. On the dashboard, you are presented with helpful graphs displaying all submitted requests by status. You can also view your courses categorized by My Request status and students categorized by My Request status. You can also view the dashboard for current rotations by clicking on the Current tab. To view the related requests, click on one of the bars in the graphic. You will be taken to All Requests tab, and the requests you selected will be displayed on this table. You can search this list of requests using the search box. You can search for the student, student ID, location name, etc. You can also use the filter icon to filter out My Requests by various criteria such as status, whether a placement has been made, etc. Once you have made your selections, click Apply. To enter the full screen mode, click on the Expand icon. To edit the columns of the table, click on the wrench icon. You can then drag and drop columns using the double ellipses. To delete a column, click on the trash bin icon. You can add a previously deleted column by clicking the Add a Column button and selecting the column. To export the list of My Request submissions, click on the Export icon. Lastly, you can refresh the list of My Request submissions by clicking on the refresh icon. Click on the Download Raw Response button to download the raw response report for My Request submissions. You will then need to select a course and the My Request active in that course for which you would like to download the student submissions. Then click on the Download button. The raw response report is used to view the submitted student My Request responses in the Excel format. Click on a student's name to be taken to that student's profile page. You can also hover over the eye icon to view student status information. The table will also display status information for contract, preceptor, student compliance, and overall, My Request status. Click on the View button to view the student's My Request submission. You can also click the Open Page icon to open the student's submission on a separate page. On the Process My Request page, you can view the information submitted by the student. First, you can check if the student has up-to-date compliance documentation. If the student is not compliant, you will see the status displayed as Some Action Needed. Click on View Compliance button to see the requirements that need action. If there are any documents that require school review, they will be displayed as Pending Review. You will also see an alert icon displayed if the student's compliance document expires during the placement. You can click on the status of a compliance document to view details and make updates as needed. You can review a student's compliance documents too. Click on the compliance document status, make your changes, then click the Update Status button. Next, click on the Search Location button to check if the requested location already exists within the system. If it exists, select the location and click Save to link it with the student request. If you do not find the location, you will need to add this location in the Sites section, then you can link it with the request. Once a location has been linked with the My Request, you can click on the location name to take you to the location page. Click on the View Contract button to visit the Contracts section of the Locations page and review the existing contracts with the location. Click the Update Location button to change the location linked with this My Request. Click on the Search Preceptor button to either link the request with an existing preceptor or add a new one. Once you select the preceptor, click the Next button to update the files from the student request to the preceptor's profile. While mapping the documents, you can choose the Personnel Profile sections where the files can be added. After you have made your selections, be sure to save. To add a new preceptor, click on the Add Preceptor hyperlink. You can then check the preceptor information for accuracy and add any other information to it. When you are done, you can click Save. Once the preceptor is added, you can move to the next step to map their documents. Once you have selected a preceptor, you may have the option to send them forms. Typically, students upload the signed preceptor agreement for your review and save for reference, but we also offer a way for schools to directly send the agreement to preceptors for review and signature. This can be done in two ways. The first option is when the student submits the request, an email with a link to the preceptor agreement form is automatically sent. The second option is as the school administrator, you can also send this form link while reviewing the student's request submission. If you see the Share Preceptor Form button, you will need to send the agreement yourself. First, link the preceptor to the request, then click Share Preceptor Form. You will then need to configure this email correspondence. First, check to see that the preceptor's email is correct in the left-hand side of the screen, then click the Next button. You will then select the template for the email you would like to send. You can select our pre-made standard template, or any other template you have created. Click Add a Template to add a new template. You can then provide a template name, subject name, and header and footer layout for the email template. You will then provide a body for the email template. Be sure to use the merge fields displayed in the upper right-hand corner of the page. These merge fields will be replaced with the information relevant to this specific email correspondence. When you are done, you can click Save to save this template. If you would like to delete a previous template, click on the template list, then click on the trash bin icon to the right of the template name. To edit a previously added template, click the template, then click the Edit button. You can then make changes to this template. Once you are done, select a template and click Preview. A window will open previewing the email to be sent. Once you are ready, click Send. An email containing the link to the preceptor agreement form will then be sent to the preceptor. The form sent for review can be completely customized and may contain sections of the student's submitted requests and additional sections for the preceptors to fill out and sign off. If you would like to set up my request workflow to include the preceptors, please reach out to our support team at prism-support@exxat.com. The preceptor will then review the student's submission, add additional information as necessary, then sign and date the form indicating their agreement. Once the preceptor has submitted the agreement form, the status of the request will change. This change in status for the form can be customized. If you would like to customize this change in status, please reach out to prism-support@exxat.com. To view the preceptor's submitted agreement form, click on the View Preceptor Form drop-down, then select the View Form option. You can then review the preceptor agreement form submission. Click on the View icon to view any documents uploaded by the preceptor or student. Click the Download icon next to an uploaded document to download the document. You may want to access this preceptor agreement form offline, or you may want to send it to another staff member for review. If this is the case, you can download the preceptor's filled agreement form by clicking on the download icon at the top of the page. If, for example, the preceptor did not fill the form correctly, you will then need to resend the preceptor agreement form. To resend the preceptor agreement form, click on the Preceptor Form Shared button, then select the Share Again button and configure the email correspondence once again and send it. The Share Again button will only appear if this form is configured as an admin-distributed preceptor agreement form. If the form is set up as a student-distributed preceptor agreement form, you will need to unsubmit the form by changing the form overall status to Need More Information and have the student resubmit the form themselves. Students and faculty may leave comments in the comment area for you to view. It is possible to leave comments for them as well. If you would like to add a comment, click on the plus icon. You can then enter your comment. Select the Share with Student checkbox if you want students to view this comment. Be sure to save once you are finished. To view the history of changes to this request status, click the Audit Log button. Here you can view when the request was updated and who updated the request. To make changes to the student's My Request, click on the Edit Student Response hyperlink. A window will then open for you to make these changes. Click on the Save and Close button when you are finished. If you would like to move the request to a different course offering, click on the vertical ellipses in the upper right-hand corner of the page, then select Move Request. You can then select the course offering where you would like to move this request. Please note that the My Request needs to be set up using the identical My Request form in the course where you are moving the request to. Also, both course offerings need to have been created from the same course from the course list. When you are ready, click the Move button in the upper right-hand corner. Lastly, if you would like to delete this student request, click on the vertical ellipses in the upper right-hand corner and then select Delete. After you have reviewed the My Request, you can change the status for the student's compliance, the preceptor, the contract, and the overall request. Ideally, before you make a placement, you want to make sure the student is fully compliant, the preceptor is approved, and the contract is approved. If this is the case, and you are ready to place the student at the requested location, you can change the status of the My Request document to Placement Confirmed. After you adjusted all statuses, click the Update button. You can then place the student by clicking on the Create Placement button. We will not show the process of making a placement in this tutorial. Please check out our How to Place Students tutorial if you would like more information on how to make student placements. Navigate back to the placement page of a course. We will now demonstrate how to share student interest in slots with locations. When you share student interest in locations with them, locations can view student contact information and their resume. They will also be able to indicate their preference for the students interested in their available slots. Students can express their interest in slots in a couple of ways. They can express their interest through the Slot Wishlist or the Slots Published section of their login. Click on the Slots tab and scroll right to the Students Interested section. Here you can view the number of students who indicated their interest in these slots. Click on the Number of Students Interested hyperlink for a slot. At the top of the page, a banner will display information about the location and slots offered for this rotation. Before you can send a notification for student interest, you will first have to select a recipient for the email notification. Click on the pencil icon in the Email Recipients section, select at least one recipient, and click the Update button. Each student who indicated preference for the location will be displayed in the table as well as other information from the student's submitted slot wishlist. Select the students whose information you would like to send to the location. You can use the search box to search for specific students. After you have made your selections, click the Send Interest to Location button. A window will open for you to configure this notification. Go ahead and click Next. You will then select the template for the email you would like to send. You can select our pre-made standard template, or any other template you have created. Click Add a Template to add a new template. You can then provide a template name, subject name, and header and footer layout for the email template. You will then provide a body for the email template. Be sure to use the merge fields displayed in the upper right-hand corner of the page. These merge fields will be replaced with the information relevant to this specific email correspondence. When you are done, you can click Save to save this template. If you would like to delete a previous template, click on the template list, then click on the trash bin icon to the right of the template name. To edit a previously added template, click the template then click the Edit button. You can then make changes to this template. Once you are done, select a template and click Preview. A window will open previewing the email to be sent. Once you are ready, click Send. The link sent to the site will take them to a web page where they can view the students interested and their resumes. The location personnel can then indicate their preference for the students interested in their slots. You can see the location preferences when you click on the students interested hyperlink of a slot. Thank you for watching our Gathering Student Preferences tutorial. Please take the time to check out our other useful Exxat Prism tutorials.